Good day, everyone. For today's video, my fiance and we're gonna be talking about my previous video, which is how can a woman add value to a man's life. So today, he gonna share with us his point of view about that topic. So if we have alignment with our point of view. Okay, love, you can start.
Hold on that a second. You know what I found funny?
What?
Look at your color.
Color? What?
No, no. Yeah, oh, it's see like that one was sticking out. It just looks funny.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that looks like.
Thank you.
Just to add my 2 cents is that look, if you're gonna look at a woman's opinion and a man's opinion about a single topic, you're gonna get technically two different descriptions because we do see things differently.
Exactly.
Um, Also, the difference between you and me, for example, is that at least I perceive that a lot of people they kind of go by the system what sounds good, but what sounds good doesn't actually work in real life. So there's a big difference.
Mhm.
And okay, so you can uh, technically read the points and for as a refresher if you remember what you said, and then I'll give you my 2 cents about like
Okay.
how I see.
So I gave 3 points from my previous video. First, be his peace. Second, have your own spark. Then the third one, believe in him. So those are the things that I mentioned.
Oh, okay. So now, first of all, um, being somebody's piece, being somebody's addition, among other things, is you gotta have a partner that's actually worth your time.
Mhm.
Because the fact is that there's a lot of worthless men. If he doesn't contribute into your life, why should you contribute to his? But in reality, quite often that seems to be the case. You have one side that contributes way more, and the other side just they're there but they just don't care, they don't value what you do, they don't appreciate what you do. And this is, I think, sometimes comes from either entitlement or because you're my woman that you should do this or you should do that, um, which is kind of horrible because it sucks if when you put a lot of energy into things and you're trying your best and you don't see the your partner acknowledge it, but actually they're even expected,
Mhm.
without giving you much in return. So it really depends on your expectation, and you have to make a decision if that person is worth like all the 3 points that you've mentioned. So make sure that if you're gonna be a good addition to his life, it's because he's worth it, not just
Mhm.
because he's there.
Mhm. So I also add, I break down the main points, how to simply apply it. So listen more, argue less. So do you agree on that?
Listen more and argue less. If we argue, who wins?
No one? No one will.
Yet, yet everybody argues, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't understand that nobody wants to fight.
Mhm.
If I'll say I love you, but I keep arguing with you, and how do you feel when I do that? You don't feel great. Why would you argue with somebody that you love?
Uh-huh.
Listen, I don't have to agree, and God knows there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's certain things we don't agree on.
Mhm.
But what's going to be the point, about arguing with it? Like, I can tell you, my thoughts or how I see things.
Mhm.
Um, they're not necessarily have to be, you don't necessarily have to see things from my point of view because you have your own identity.
Mm-hmm.
So argument, arguing, it's, I think, just illogical, but it's still happening everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now, debating or bantering, I don't think it's a bad thing because you do exchange, information. You let the person know how you see things, what's important to you, what are you passionate about, among other things. As long as you can keep the tone down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, same thing is that because look, you can argue about a lot of topics, and I said that like be with someone that it's not enough that they contribute to your life, but they also make you a better person. So if I'm gonna ask you that, for example, let's say you have a goal. I mean, with us, it's let's say with your English, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the most. I think that's where the most um, problems like that we have is that you made a very little progress.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that, and you obviously, I don't want you to learn from me. I want you to learn for yourself because if you're gonna come here, that's gonna be a big obstacle for you. I'm not asking you to do anything for me because when it comes to me, the way you are is just fine. But the thing is that if that's going to be an obstacle of you getting a better job or, you being disappointed because you have a, problem in communicating with people, you're going to come home and, sometimes that's going to drag you down a little bit. And I'll be here for you. But in my mind, I'm going to say, well, you put yourself in that position because you failed to do what I asked you for a very long period of time. So my job is to make sure that you'll do absolutely the best you can for yourself, not for me.
Yeah, I understand that.
When it comes to the listening more, you never find a balance of like you're always gonna have one person that talks more, another person listens more.
Mm-hmm.
Things will never be kind of balanced. Depends. Um, well, I'm pretty sure that look, when somebody asks you a question, that means they're interested in you. Like once the questions are gone or the conversations, that you could see it in the beginning of relationships is that, somebody talks, for first month, for a week, 2 weeks, month, even 3 months, and then the conversations become shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. You have less questions because you feel like you've learned a lot about that person, you know. And this is where we're talking about that relationships are a lot of work. Relationships are a lot of work because you have to keep reinventing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a lot going on in your life, when you constantly learning, that can be reading good books about different topics. It's good to have certain topics that both of us are interested in because we have something to talk about. And after 2.5 years, we talk for 3 hours a day. Easy, right? I mean, you're technically have to go sleep or I gotta go to sleep. And so we cut the conversation shorter, but we never run out of topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we keep on communicating peacefully, even though sometimes we have disagreements.
Yeah. But I'm the talker and you're the listener. So to say that listen more, that's something maybe that could be applied to me. That but the thing is that if I'm quiet, the conversation is pretty quiet.
Yeah.
So I could say you're my audience.
Mm. So I'm the listener, you
But
are the talker.
yeah, I think it's when you have a conversation and you have two people, stopping one another and not allowing you to finish what you're trying to say,
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem because that means they don't respect your views, or they don't respect what you have to say, or they just don't want to listen to you. That's not a good indicator, right? Most part, I think I'm pretty good in like allowing, you to finish the sentence before I speak.
That's
So listening,
being clear, not complicated.
yeah, yeah. So listening, like I presume that most of people, you're gonna develop this kind of relationship where one person is gonna lead the conversation. Um, just as in anything in life, if you want to have successful relationships, like I said, you cannot have two cocks under one roof because they'll keep fighting. Somebody, you look for your strengths. Obviously, you're gonna have two people. Each person has its own talents. You can be a good conversationalist. You can be a good cook. You can be good around fixing things or whatever. Financially,
Mhm.
more responsible. So everybody takes their, role as, for example, as the leader in that particular department. And as a unit, you're much stronger. You'll operate more efficiently. Now, the problem is that if, for example, um, you're gonna run finances, and I wanna run finances, right? Um, let's say you're a spender and I'm not, and that becomes a problem. There's a lot of these cases when one person just spends money left and right. You know, how do so how do you fix that? Like, well, I would ask you, for example, like if you want to be, if you want to buy land or buy a house, we need to save money, right? Let's say this is our income, this is our monthly budget for certain things, and then yet you keep buying shoes and purses.
Mhm.
How you want to achieve that. One of the biggest problems in relationships, obviously outside of just arguing and tone of voice, it's finances. People struggle with finances, and people have a lot of arguments about finances because it makes life harder. You have to cut corners. And there's a lot of people, like I said, that one person. I mean, if you have two spenders and non-savers, technically you're gonna live a paycheck to paycheck, and you're just gonna load up a bunch of credit card bills, and that just puts a lot of stress on both people.
Mhm.
So, to solve that is okay, if, like I said, like to me, I don't have a problem if I see you manage money well, if you manage money better than me, for example, and you can do a competition, open two accounts, and we can do, let's say, 3 months under your supervision, 3 months under my supervision. We're gonna see which account grew the most, and simple as that. Like, that the numbers will speak for themselves, and let's see, I'll hand over the finances to you. And look, the thing is, I might not like it, but at the long run, I will benefit from it. So why not? Like, I think that's a logical way of going about things. So, but that's the thing is, like, it's very important to talk about all these little things that, if I would say, let's say, we disagree about something, I'm like, look, I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to put you down. Um, I just, for example, like my view or my opinion or my experience tells me something else. Let's sit down and figure these things out, and find the best way for that's gonna work for both of us. Because if there's something that we can do better as a couple, it will benefit you and me equally. So why not? If we're gonna argue about it and not do anything except arguing, you're wasting a lot of energy and you're not getting anything back. So what's the point?
Mhm. Yeah,
And that
exactly.
and that's what I'm saying. Like if somebody's gonna say like, well, how to solve a problem, and somebody's gonna say, well, stop arguing. Well, okay, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like people don't actually, because there's no recipe of arguing. The the recipe of arguing is what are you putting into the argument and what are you getting out of it? And also, what's going to be the cost? Because
Mhm.
the cost is going to be your partner's feelings.
Mhm. Yeah, that argument will leads to separation. And I saw that from my parents that they keep on arguing every day, and that's why my parents get
If,
separated.
if, yes, eventually, yeah. Like at some point, look, just like everything in life, these little things that we don't pay attention to eventually accumulate and they come and bite you in your ass. I mean, that's kind of life. You know, sometimes when you see things are breaking slowly and slowly, and then once they pick up the speed, there's no way to stop it. It's just gonna be the end of it. Nobody teaches us. Like, look, they don't teach you in school critical thinking, and they should,
Mhm.
right? Nobody teaches you about relationships. Nobody teaches you what actually works or not. Or I can tell, look, if I'm gonna tell like an average person that relationships are transactional, they automatically jump into like, they associate transaction with money. It's not about money. Transaction is that we offer each other's services and, uh, you could say all kind of goodies that, for example, I'm interested in and you're interested in. Like we exchange things for
Mhm.
each other, right? It can be way of life. It can be good conversations. It can be protection. It can be, um, caring. Um, like obviously, I wouldn't think that you're gonna physically protect me, but if I'm gonna get sick, I know you're gonna take care of me, right? So it's like we do things for each other. With parents, with kids, with everything, you negotiate terms, right? Especially with kids, it's like if you're gonna do your homework, I'll do this for you, or if you're not gonna be doing your homework, you're not gonna be cleaning, I'm not gonna buy your phone, I'm not gonna. It's like you're constantly negotiating, and that's all it is. So if you think about it, like I said, you can tell your partner how you feel or what's going on today, at work, among other things, but it can be negotiating, and like I said, life sometimes, it just runs so fast. You have new things, new situations, maybe a new job, maybe you lose a job, maybe you have a problem with something, maybe you want something, whatever it is. People will never agree on everything. And that would be ridiculous to even expect. But true words are that you're gonna be as happy in life as realistic your expectations will be. If you expect uh, a lot from life, you will be disappointed a lot. If you
Mhm.
expect little from life, anything you're gonna get in life is gonna be a positive. However, when you don't expect a lot, there's a possibility you're not gonna be trying hard as well because there's nothing you need, outside of what you have.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it really depends on the person. But like your expectations from life are a little bit lower than mine, definitely. And that's why you smile more, you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do. And this second points that I was talking about, having my own spark, do you agree on that? Because before you came into my life, I have my own life. You saw me that I am a happy person. So how I was able to positively impact your life?
It's your own spark. I would definitely say that you're happier than me,
Mhm.
because we have a little bit different lives. I mean, you know, uh, I'm like overworked a lot, and I push myself to
Mhm.
sometimes to the limit, like with work and gym and everything that's going on in life. I think you're capable of just finding a little bit more balance here and there. Um, but you have a very positive attitude. And sometimes, like I said, when I'm tired and then you call and I see you smile, that makes me happy.
Oh.
Uh, Look, it's how they said it's a misery looks for always looks for company. When you have two people that are total little bitches, you know what I mean? They're not gonna have a good life.
Mhm.
But if you have a person that is just it's like you wake up in the morning and you smile right away, and you smile like no matter what happens in your life, like that is very how you said it's that's got a very positive influence on me. That's why I like talking to you, because that positively kind of vibes on me.
Mhm.
It's good to be positive, but it's also good to be realistic.
Mhm.
You know, you could have that one person takes everything too seriously, and you can have one person's not taking things seriously enough.
Mhm.
If you can find a good balance between that, I think that's like a win-win.
So you are more realistic and I am positive.
You're very positive, yeah. And like I said, and that's what when we talk about when somebody says like I don't need anybody to complete me, right? Which I think it's a total BS because of your attitude and your positive attitude. That's what, in my opinion, in my mind, gives me a balance, and that's what kind of completes me because because you're totally opposites from me. And you know, studies show that when they said opposite attract, it's no joke that people that are totally opposite from each other do way better in relationships because that's how they complete each other. So
Mhm.
this is where we're talking about, you know, extreme masculine to very feminine energies. They do well together. Any uh, successful female CEO of any company, they are either single, divorced, or not happy.
Oh.
You cannot have two people, trying to run a company or a household, a female and a male.
Mhm.
It's not going to end up well because a household requires both logic and emotions, right? If you cannot divide those two, or if you don't understand, like I said, because I think sometimes people feel like, oh, because I'm successful at work, that I'm always right. Like, woman has to look up to men.
Mhm. Exactly.
You don't want to, because as a lady, like I said, if you're gonna come home to a sissy, what are you gonna do? You're gonna push him around. He's gonna be pissing you off. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, wouldn't you think like if you had a guy that is just that you can push him around, he's got like no grit, like
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's like you come go get an oil change, like oh no, I'm gonna get my hands dirty. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like if you were super masculine, right? Like
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want to be with you. Like to me, like feminine is like because you're soft, you're delicate. It's like I just want to hug you and
Uh-huh.
cuddle you. You know what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
like that's how I personally feel. So like you have to understand that if you can understand what you actually need and what you find, well, like what attracts you to
Mhm.
somebody,
Mhm.
and stay true to that. And it's really hard to find these things. It is
Mhm.
really too hard to find these things because you know somebody could say like I mean there's obviously a lot of people believe there's such thing as a soulmate, right? Which obviously I don't believe. I don't believe anything that any cartoons, romance movies, social media, all this crap are just brainwashing people, and they believe there's a soulmate. And I don't know how you believe in this. How many time, how many boyfriends did you have and you were in love, you thought it was a soulmate, and now you hate him, and yet you don't remember that you're wrong already a couple of times, and what do you think you're gonna be right next time? Get a life.
Mhm.
There's no such thing. But also, people don't have plans or maps.
Mhm.
What do you think? It's like you're gonna meet a guy and and you're gonna know he's that.
Mhm.
Like, look, if you build a business or whatever you want to do in life, if you're gonna have a plan, you're gonna have a map, you'll probably get there much faster. You're gonna be much more successful to achieve your goal because you already know what you're gonna do, right? You're gonna have, let's say, point one and subcategories. Like, what do you look for in a girl? You could say, well, guys obviously don't care about mostly guys don't care about financial success of a woman, but let's say very feminine, delicate, good sense of humor, positive outlook. Let's say looks, like this is what I find attractive. You know, when it comes to education, for example, or intelligence, like, you can pinpoint, like, what are you looking for? And then when you meet a person, ask these questions and look where this person falls under.
Mhm.
If they're not hitting your points, don't even waste your time. Look, when you're 20, you got all the time in your life. When you're 40, time becomes more important.
Mhm.
That means you have less chance of of just tryouts and making mistakes, among other things. And I think, and like, look, I mean, if you've been with too many women, that's gonna have a negative effect too.
Mhm.
So at some point, make a concrete decision and and say, look, like this is what's important to me. You don't exhibit none of these characteristics, so I apologize, but there's just no point of continuing this conversation,
Mhm.
and just move on.
Mhm.
And you keep eliminating till you find some. And look, if it took me 45 years. So like all these things, all these expectations, they just put unnecessary stress in your relationship. The fact is that we have to work as hard as on anything in life that's worth having. Nothing that's worth having in life comes easy. It's a fact. I don't like to talk about facts because there's not most of it are just our opinions and theories, and things change. But that is a fact that good things that have long-term value requires a lot of work, a lot
Mhm.
of effort. I believe you fit me very well,
Mhm.
and that we are capable of managing our problems pretty efficiently.
Mhm.
So I don't look at you like, sometimes you could say like you fall in love with somebody, and then after a year or 2 years, like the feeling kind of subsides, and then you kind of get on with your life. There's no more butterflies, there's no more dopamine and serotonin and all these things. You kind of get back to reality. Like,
Mhm.
it was never about that with you. I like you, and my feelings come from the way you are with me, who you are as a person, and how well you fit me. So your utilities are technically what I want. I want you for utilities. I want you for your characteristics, personality, among other things. And this is what I value. It's so you could say that, like, I look at the relationships logically first.
Mhm.
And then when you see that everything works out, then the emotions start to kind of come up to a surface. You know, Unfortunately, I'm not 15 years old. I don't see a girl and then like she's hot and I feel like I'm in love with her. Like, I've been through this phase, that phase has been gone for me for a long, long, long time.
Mhm.
You know, what I've learned over the years is technically, uh, or maybe let's say the mistakes I've made and how I've chosen, I've learned on that and I looked for a different solution, what was actually missing, like what I had and what I needed. And what I needed is you.
Oh, that's why I came up that third main point that I have to believe in you, to believe what you say, and for our family, for our future, for the kids, how to discipline them. And yeah, I trust you.
Mhm. If you're gonna look at somebody like from that point of view, you would have to say, I respect this person, right? And like quite often, when you ask somebody, it's like, what are you looking for your partner, or what do you need from your partner? And they say, I need respect, right? And I always say, well, what the hell am I gonna respect you for? I'm gonna respect you if you will earn your respect, just like I want to earn your respect. Um, I would like to think that I do what I say.
Mhm.
I put a lot of value and energy. Even if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something, even if I later change my mind, I'm still gonna do it because I would feel horrible. Like because my word is my word,
Mhm.
right? Also, when somebody's competent, somebody's responsible, somebody gets things done,
Mhm.
hard work, intelligence. Like when you see somebody that when they put their mind into something, they will achieve it no matter what. They make a good decision in life. They work. A lot of people. It's kind of funny. I just heard. It was they say like the percent of Americans that are happy at working was a super high percentage. I'm like, what a bunch of you know what? The thing is that, look, I mean, through most of my life, I did not like places where I work. So I took my own advice and I found the job that I do, and that's a little bit of trials and errors and that's a little bit of luck. And, but I said, if you don't like where you work, change your job. Easy to say, hard to do because sometimes, if you're responsible, you're gonna say, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to support my family, and I will work even at a job that I hate, right? Because you
Mhm.
know, if you're gonna look at that, I'm like, okay, this person is kind of, you could say it's responsible
Mhm.
because they're sacrificing for the greater good of the family, not just themselves. If you're gonna look at like an average person, average guy, um, what they achieved in life. And look, uh, you can have tough periods in your life where bad luck, you have a crappy job, you're driving a crappy car, you lost a good job, whatever. Like, you have some health issues. Life happens, so don't judge somebody based on a short period of time. But you see, like as long as this person is willing to fight and dig themselves out. And I think this is where also a good woman is valuable for a guy because you'll keep him accountable and you'll keep him motivated. Some say that, a woman is gonna be, if you see somebody that's doing very, very well in life and successful, have good jobs and everything, it's easier for them to find a woman because it's no joke that a lot of women do wait at the end of the finish line and they'll pick the winners. Occasionally, you can find somebody that doesn't have much, but he's capable of doing better in life. So and remember, I think was the book from Scott was he's pretty good with this statistics, and it clearly shows that married men do much better in life, You know, for the fact is that women do motivate guys because they have the skin in the game. The better you do, the better also they're off. So accountability, motivation, um, among other these things, I think it's a like a key role in in success. Like for anyone, it's just like well, guy can do the same thing for you, right? Like he's gonna support you no matter what. Having a good support and having a good foundation, it just makes life so much so much more. I mean, so that would be kind of my 2 cents. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Oh, yeah, you're actually right. So you are responsible, and I trust your decisions, and I believe in you. And I think you will be a great father
Hold
to
on.
the kids.
Keep more compliments. Compliments will get you far in life with me.
I'm
More.
so
I'm
proud
sorry, I
of
stopped.
you.
Like keep going.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. You work hard every
Well,
day for us to see each other in person. Yeah, for the
hmm
third meeting. Yeah.
hopefully last one. Like
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
last
Long
vacation.
distance. Long distance is really hard. It's only for
Is
the
it?
bravest. Yeah.
It's not like I understand there's additional difficulty in a long distance because obviously that physical touch is not there. Um, but if you're super busy, if your life is like you don't have any free time, right? You're constantly on the fly. It doesn't really bother you that much because you're busy,
Mm-hmm.
and and we talk 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That relieves a lot of the pressure. Um, so I've like it's look, it's not like easy. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation,
Mm-hmm.
but I've truly never felt like that. It puts a lot of pressure on our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
at least for me personally, it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna look, this is the thing. I would rather wait 3 years, 4 years for you than be with somebody over here that's just half-ass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, good things take a lot of sacrifice. And when you think about it, it's like what do you call it? Let's say I'm gonna be a pain in the butt one day, and you're gonna be here, and I'm gonna be like, I'm tired of you, and then you're gonna say, hold on, you waited 3 years for me. I'm like, oh god damn it, I know. All right, come here. But you know what I mean? It's when you sacrifice and you contributed and you went through so much, uh, you'll work harder on keeping it together.
Mm-hmm.
If something comes easy, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and things don't work out, it's easier to let it go because you didn't invest it. And like I said, like at my age, the biggest investment into this relationship is time.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Yeah.
Uh, it is time. However, sometimes when people invest a lot of time into something and things don't work out,
Mm-hmm.
they have a problem letting go, and they just keep investing and investing things into something that has absolutely no chance of working out in the future. So, the question will be is like, well, you invested so much. Do you see a pretty clear vision, you know, um, of yourself with that person next to you for another 5, 10 years? Like, there's no question mark. Like, there's no, let me think. Like, I know, right? So I have a conviction
Mm-hmm.
in how I see you and what I've learned about you so far. Like, are there ever like moments that I'm like, yes, I'm not gonna lie,
Uh-huh. I do
you
too.
know. So,
I would to say
yeah,
we have the
but that,
question mark.
but
I, I feel like, do I need to do this, or I can't let him go. Just like then there we are. We overcome
well,
it.
no, look, I'm pretty sure I'm much more problematic than you are because also my expectations of you are higher
Mhm.
than, let's just say, I don't know what do you expect from me. Um, I
Expect
know
you to
what I,
be a good father to the kids,
oh man, you're gonna be disappointed.
and you're gonna discipline them. I will not. I will not tell you what to do with the kids. I will respect how you're gonna discipline them, because yeah, your presence in their lives will be so much appreciated. Yeah. Oh.
I already bought him some army boots and Swiss Army knives, and yeah, I think the first week when they arrive, I'm gonna teach him how to start a fire with just twigs.
Okay. Boots for the army. Because Rosemary wants to be a policewoman and Rylan wants to be an army in the future.
Okay, well, United States, they look for some good. I mean, technically, he's gonna be well trained,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well,
physically capable,
yes.
and since we have so much obesity in the United States, and he's gonna be fit,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you call it? Then yeah, I think he's gonna do because he's super high energy, so he would do probably good for U.S. Army.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll ship him off early then. More time for us.
More time for us. Yeah. Oh.
It's no, it's a sacrifice. But look, they're young, and obviously police and army and then firefighters and cosmonauts and all kind of stuff. I mean, like kids, want to be different things, and but we'll see what they want to do when they grow up.
Oh yeah. But at least they have their um dreams at an early age. Mm.
Yeah, but those are it's just dreams, and dreams are free. That's why we
True.
have them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's all. I think you still have to add on, or add-ons ideas, that how can a woman add value to a man's life, because those are the three main points that I think as a woman can add value to my partner.
Yeah, look, the biggest thing out of all this, out of all we just talked about, is that is he worth it? Well, it goes for both ways because if you want to bring a positive, or you want to be a positive addition to his life, is he actually worth it? Like, does he commend it? What type of guy is he?
Mhm.
Because think about it. In my opinion, and I understand that everybody has their stories, everybody's got their own reasons, but a lot of guys are just not worth it, and a lot of women are just not worth it because they they're not willing to do whatever it takes. When when you see somebody that when you do things in life
Mhm.
and you have to go through a resistance of some sorts, if it's hard to do, it's hard to achieve, it takes commitment, people quit,
Mhm.
right? Then why would you, sacrifice for a person like that? It goes, listen, it goes same thing for a woman. Like for a woman, you can, as long as you're trying, she's there. But for example, you have a lot on your mind, let's say you don't call, whatever, and she's not going to call first, or she's not going to, whatever. Then, I mean, women, look, it's It's easy to be with someone when they do all the work, but when occasionally you have to come and pick up the work and do it yourself to keep it together, a lot of people fail. If you're gonna sacrifice, if you're gonna put in work, make sure the guy is worth it. Like I said, he's got the characteristics of like we've mentioned before: responsible, hardworking, doesn't quit, determined, disciplined, masculine, among other things. Yeah,
You are.
more. Okay. No, and I understand. But listen, it's same thing for for women. It's like you mess up or whatever, something happens. It's very easy for a woman to walk away, and she thinks, well, I'm just gonna, because especially if she's good looking, it's like, well, I'm gonna have another guy. He's already chasing me and all these things. Yeah, but if you're gonna look at that, like that guy, look, things are never what we expect.
Mhm,
That's a fact.
mhm,
Things will never work out the way we want. It's ridiculous to think that other people have to fit us.
mhm. Exactly.
You know, so like I said, to find a good person that just doesn't quit and it's willing to take over occasionally when your partner slips in life, it's going to be difficult because when we talk about throughout the time, when I had like conversations about like with Filipinos, for example, or their experiences or how I perceive things. It's look, a lot of Filipinos say that um oh, I had a the guy was talking for a week or 2 weeks and he just stopped. It's like, well, because you didn't do shit. Like you expect he's gonna constantly talk and ask you questions and all these things, but you never ask anything.
Mhm,
Then what do you expect? Of course the conversation is gonna end sooner or later because you have nothing to offer.
mhm. Yeah. For my experience, it's totally different because it's
You
only
try.
1 week.
Y-
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I see you, I already start talking with other men because I already found what I'm looking for.
What other man?
Oh, well,
You said I'm the only one. What other man?
you're the one that I choose. Okay, you're the one that I choose. So from the
Thank God you didn't have any valuable options. Thank God I was the only one that
yeah.
was just okay because I'll be in trouble now.
Well, as a woman, I have this standard. So, woman out there, you should know what you're looking for when you sign up on a dating app. You know your standard, and then you can choose that
Listen,
one
if
guy
okay,
who.
if you talk to three guys, including
Uh,
me, and one of the guy doesn't want to be with the girl that's got babies, and the other guy
uh,
is a
uh,
black dude that pretends to be
then,
white, it's
yeah,
it's not like you had a lot of it's not like you have a lot of options, but you get what you get,
yeah.
and then you have a third, guy, me, that don't mind kids and is willing to put some time in.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Look, I mean, it doesn't matter. Look, whatever it is, it kind of worked
Exactly.
out.
Yeah.
Uh, for both of us, but like
Because
I
there
said,
are girls
outside of
now that they don't know what they're looking for. It's like they are at the end of the day they end up crying because the man, you know, just broke up with her.
yes, but think about, look, a lot, sadly to say,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, Filipinos are the laziest, dumbest bunch I ever met in my life.
Oh.
It's n- it is not even close. They go on these apps,
Mm-hmm.
okay, look for Prince Charming,
Prince
but
Charming.
they have
Yeah.
absolutely nothing to offer. They, as long as you call them and you talk to them and this and that, like they're there, but they don't give you nothing in return.
Oh.
They don't even try. And I don't know if look, if something's gonna have with education,
Mm-hmm.
um, the mentality of somebody from Manila or from province, it's much different.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay.
Um, no ambitions,
I have
have
ambition.
nothing going on in their life. Yes, well, that's why we start talking because you're a teacher, and I know you have plans to move forward and do better in life, among other things. You just had a bad luck in life. But yeah, most of them just they're just ridiculous. And like I said, I've seen there are women that are highly unattractive, yet somehow they found three, four guys that keep sending them money.
Oh.
I have no idea how. And I'm guessing these women are hustling. They're calling and talking and they're flirting and they got these they got their guys, wrap around fingers. And then you have these Filipinos who they look decent. You seem like they're good women, but no energy, no motivation, no, like they don't even try.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they just give up,
Mm-hmm.
but what am I supposed to do with a girl like that? Like, if you're gonna come here,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to be competitive. I need you to try, keep pushing forward, not just be here. Because, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I might as well just buy a mannequin, right? Can I do? Can I do a K1 visa for Filipino mannequin? Like, I would like to do that. It's straightforward. You just pack it, DHL it, right? Ship it, and yeah, but you know what I mean. I know it sounds a little bit ridiculous,
Yeah.
but but a lot of them they do not even try. And then same thing is for for guys. Or some guys have different motivations, different goals. For some, they genuinely looking for a partner. Some wish, but they cannot afford it. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot afford vacation, among other things. Some
Yeah.
guys just want to have fun. And like I said, it's our job to make sure that the partner that we find fit our goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we talk a lot. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you spend a lot of time. You talk about everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing that's off the table.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And it's okay to talk about things that's uncomfortable. And I'm okay with that.
Well, you definitely should.
Mm-hmm.
Because if something is not uncomfortable to talk about, and you actually have a conversation about it, it's not going to be uncomfortable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very open, obviously, right? I'll talk about anything because I have no shame. It's for it is what it is. You're a little bit different. Obviously, you're a little bit more reserved, but we're at a point where there's nothing really we wouldn't be able to talk about because you
Mm-hmm.
technically know everything about me. I'm very transparent when it comes to things. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times it happened when you asked me a question and I told you I'm not gonna tell you.
Rarely.
Recently, recently I can only tell you one, and
Mm.
because I told you like this, it's not an information that's gonna be any useful.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Only one.
Only one. So I think
You,
that's
you,
all.
you're gonna. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Okay, love.
Okay.